So, I'm Sam, and I'm home alone. This little burden right here cost me £100? £100. It's a freshers pass for the entire 2 weeks of clubbing and fun. But right now I find myself banned from the venue and I honestly can't tell you why. £100 just gone. And it's not just me. Like, every day I see similar complaints. So before a little SU civil war breaks out, let's look into this. Why is it happening? Do we have a right to party?
This is not acceptable. We are paying them to do their job innocently. Students are scared to enjoy a night out in Sub-Zero because they are constantly menaced due to securities and justified
of their superiority and regularly treat students unfairly. If the SU don't do something about it soon, they'll just deter people from going to Sub-Zero. This has got
I'd also like to complain about the bouncers of Sub-Zero. One of them threatened to put a glass through my face last night.
While it's hard to prove legitimacy from Facebook posts, it's clear that something needs to be done and the students need their voices heard. Upon this, I started looking around to see what real-life people had to say about the matter. As students yourselves, do you think that we have a party culture university?
Yeah, I think, like, as a group, everyone likes to party.
Yeah.
Yes, definitely.
I think it's half and half.
Well, we have events almost every night.
Purely because, yes, the party life in this uni is great. At the same time, if you are willing to do it, there's actually a lot to do that's not to do with partying. I've been banned for having a panic attack and looking very drunk in the process of doing so.
My boyfriend yawned and the bouncers wanted to kick him out because they thought he was a stoner.
Dangerous dancing.
Apparently trying to sneak in wine when in reality I produced it at the door.
You literally just stood there and you still got dragged out. Why they decided to take you, how they spotted you, beyond me.
Have you had this trouble in any other venues?
No. I'm not really, honestly, not really a big clubbing fan outside of uni. Don't like clubbing with, 50-year-old men, so I tend to avoid it. And whenever I go out in town, this has never happened to me before.
Yeah, I think the dancing on the side made us a little bit vulnerable because we're not in the spotlight, but I think the bouncers were on the outskirts next to us, so they're keeping a close eye on us.
Do you think people should have to worry about that though, even if they're not doing anything wrong?
I don't
about
think
the way
anyone
they
should
are?
have to worry about being spotted. If you're not doing anything that's hurting anyone else or bothering or harassing someone else, you shouldn't be kicked out because you're thought to be drunk. Even if you're drunk and not bothering anyone, it's just pointless to take them out.
How long do you think it would have taken to resolve this issue if the bouncers had actually just spoken and listened back?
Well, if they'd listened, they would have just understood instantaneously. It doesn't take brains to see that you're intoxicated. At least have like a evidence or a breathalyzer or a camera or anything.
I think that's the nature of their job, and honestly, compared to the bouncers in any other club outside the campus, the bouncers here are pretty relaxed. I mean, for all of those who complain about the bouncers having attitude problems, they should go outside and see how bouncers in other clubs deal with drunk people.
Would you say you have a lot of problems on campus with security?
I personally haven't had any, not on campus at least, but I've had a lot of friends have sort of bad experiences with them. It's just absolutely ridiculous. I don't think they will admit when they're wrong. I think they just like to say that they're doing something about it and then not actually do anything about it at all. One week I was out and the safety just wasn't running and a girl walked up to me. The girl was in absolute tears of the fact that she got kicked out, she lost all her friends and she wasn't able to get through to anyone because if you get kicked out, you have a signal outside Sub-Zero, but your friends in there don't, so they don't know that you've been kicked out. And it's horrid just to see to say that that girl was in. I think they did put her in danger, but really they're not. They don't care. That's how it seems at the moment. They just don't care.
I've been encountered by them a few times. They were really polite. They were normal. Though sometimes I was really, really drunk, they still treated me with respect.
I think they get bored and then want to kick someone out who looks the most vulnerable. That's what I think it is, because yeah, there will be nights when nothing is happening in Sub-Zero. There won't be any fights. To be honest, I've never witnessed a fight in Sub-Zero because what else have they got to do, you know?
I just feel safer and more comfortable because there are rules.
It's horrid. It makes you worry every time you go out that you're going to be kicked out for no reason whatsoever. It's just not fair, and it ruins not only your night but the night of everyone else you're out with.
They definitely do their job. I mean, they are not waiters to be really nice and kind and smiling all of the time. They are security people.
At times, they treat us like school kids. When students are drunk, in the SU's mind, they instantly become children. If you come up to them or, you know, I'm upset and you're crying your eyes out, they will treat you like a child, which I don't think is fair. Just because you're more vulnerable doesn't make you a child.
Speaking of these people, I took SU's own advice and gave them a message. Alright, just guys for the other day. Samuel, you are banned until the 14th of October for being drunk, disorderly and trying to enter the venues after you've been refused. You also argumentative with door staff and refused entry. So that doesn't add up, so to take it further. And now you were intoxicated and tried to gain entry to the venue, and then refused, became unmindful of the door staff. That's just a different story now. I've been told 3 different versions of events, none of which there's any proof for. This changed version of events makes it sound like I was trying to gain entry whilst drunk and start a fight at the door, when really I was taken out after a couple of hours being there with no explanation. Basically, what's going on here? Who's lying? Can bouncers dish out such heavy punishments with so little validation? For answers, I got in contact with an ex-bouncer. He invited me around and we had a chat about bouncers today.
My name's Pete. I used to be part of the door team for Sub-Zero and now I work occasionally for the SU.
Were you yourself a clubber?
Yeah, back in the 80s.
Was it different then?
It's always the same, just different crowds.
Are students more likely to get themselves into trouble because they're more vulnerable?
They're obviously away from home probably for the first time and they've got free access to drink, so that can put themselves in a position where they're more vulnerable, yes.
Just on a personal level, how responsible for their own actions do you think 18-year-olds are?
They're adults, they can vote. Kids younger than 18 know right from wrong.
I stopped 5 people and then he went.
Is being drunk enough reason to kick someone out by procedure? Like, even if they're not hurting anybody else, does procedure tell you that you should kick them out?
Yes, procedure does say we should get them out, as much for that for their own safety.
But you realise that going on that, some people have to just get kicked out with all their friends inside and have to work out their own way home.
Perhaps they should have thought of that themselves before getting into that condition, but there is a safety bus to get them home safely. There is night ninjas that can assist them if they need it. But like everyone else in the job, we've got a job to do.
Going on Pete's advice, my next lead was to get in with the night ninjas and secretly go undercover as one of their guys, hoping to get a different stance in the clubbing scene.
I'm Michael, I'm the president of the Night Ninjas. I help on shifts.
Night Ninjas is basically your sober friend on a night out.
We help anyone who's in the club or is on campus who's had a little bit too much to drink.
Assist the door staff in making sure everyone is safe. We sometimes even walk students home if they're on campus.
Give out free water to anyone else who needs it as well.
Advice to freshers. Drink slowly. You can drink a lot, but drink it slowly.
I was out on the busiest night of the week, and from a sober perspective, Fed is crazy. It is straight up ridiculous looking on in the inside what these people are willing to go to.
Guys, we got a door staff listening, please don't annoy them.
On nights out, I would say that the girls tend to be more vulnerable. We've also seen guys who are vulnerable, but more in the sense of very drunk needs to get home rather than very drunk someone is going to take advantage of them.
Over the course of the night, I paid special attention to when trouble did kick up and how bouncers dealt with the situation.
He hit me. He hit me. He hit me. Right.
And I find that every single time I caught one of these on camera, it was ambiguous.
I have to go and call security.
Yeah.
I don't really know what's going on. I just asked the door staff to deal with it because I'm not meant to do that. I can't control any of that.
It is hard to read the situation, what's going on, who's in the right, which in turn kind of made me respect these guys' jobs a little more.
Sportsfed gets really bad. Those are the nights when you see things that you just wouldn't expect of these people.
I was just gonna stay for a little bit.
But you go inside in an actual bed. How about that?
Maybe in a bit.
Okay, no, you have to do it now.
Oh,
These people
no.
have to go back to helping people
Then I have
falling
to
off
make
the stairs.
effort. Oh, there's so many people. Just fucking open my eyes and there's so many people.
Come on.
Whoa.
Can you do it?
I have a dead arm. Oh my god, there's people with blood on.
Nope.
Sportsfed gets really bad. And then seeing them around sober the next day, it's the weirdest thing ever. It's just like, do you remember what you did?
Did I?
No. I think it's also the night where, you know, the sports boys, it's the whole lad culture.
I've heard a couple of people say that Fed is more based around pride than just having fun.
Definitely is. I've never seen masculinity on such a high horse before.
Okay, yeah, sometimes they go back out of Nightline unless they're passed out.
They escape.
So, yeah, they literally just escape. Like,
Oh no,
and we're like, please, can you please go back? We just got you there.
Like, even though we are all adults now, how much do you think peer pressure still affects drinking culture?
It's on another level.
It's just natural that people are concerned about what others think of them.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, even though we're adults, we still have those little groups, especially on Fed, like tonight, which is like, oh, you're in the sports group, you're in football, you have to drink. These people have never even had a drink in their lives, and now they're like, yeah, chug the whole bottle. Like, no, don't do that.
This environment is kind of new to me. Drinking is new to me. And like, if you're with your friends, they'll just pull you to the bar and just be like, here, have this Jaeger bomb. But I've sometimes been on shifts where it's just like, should you really have kicked them out? And sometimes you can see them make the wrong call, but it's one of those in the moment kind of things that, you know, this decision needs to be made now.
Finally, I managed to secure a meeting with John Valke, head of the SU disciplinary board. He sat down with me and summarised the SU's version of events.
If you're not allowed into a nightclub, or you're ejected out of a nightclub, you're generally unhappy because it's having something taken away that you didn't want taken away. So when you're angry, people like to vent about that when they're angry. So you get stuff on Facebook, and once people put stuff on Facebook, it gives rise to other comments, and things can take off from there. You need to say, if a lot of first years come, they may be either just turned 18, potentially, or not been out that much before. So it's a lot of people's first interaction with going out and going to nightclubs. And there is a naivety sometimes, maybe not understanding that you can just go in as drunk as you want or whatever. That's not the way it is. So that there are, you know, one of the licensing laws states that you can't serve people that are too drunk.
Why is the word bouncer discouraged?
Because the word bouncer used to mean that people bounce people out of nightclubs. Yeah, a long time ago, I think doormen are now licensed, and you have to go through a course. That refers to the old days when you were literally thrown out and manhandled and bounced off a few walls. We're constantly evaluating the team. Recently we've changed the head doorman and the deputy head doorman. We don't always need to follow through with everything. We can all make errors, and we need to admit those errors sometimes. So I think that's something we're trying to work on. But we're also we're looking at how we humanise the face of door staff. How we can make that whole experience as good as it possibly can, because ultimately it's an entertainment destination, and people should go there to have fun and enjoy themselves. And how can we make sure people enjoy themselves in the fun and most safe way possible?
Whilst I was out on patrol the other day, I did actually speak to the guy who kicked me out. And whilst I'm still admittedly very annoyed, it's very fresh, I don't really hold it against him. Ultimately, at the end of the day, it seems that there is no partying without responsibility. The reason door staff can be so strict and students so reckless, we seem to be causing each other's problems. So yeah, we have the right to party. Everybody does, but at what cost?